Have you ever stopped to think about the fans behind a band? What is it about the music that keeps fans coming back for more? Or is there more? My name is Renae Lipsmeyer, and I am the host of this podcast, The Space Between Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. Each week, a fellow DMB fan joins the show to discuss their journey with the band. Welcome to the Space Between Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Space Between Podcast, the podcast where we talk exclusively about the fans behind one band. If this is your very first time to listen to this podcast, we talk exclusively about Dave Matthews Band. If you've never heard of them or you're just now hearing about them, there are fans that are from the OG, like 91. There are fans that have just found the band. So the goal here at this podcast is to document all of the fan journeys, because if you've heard this podcast before or seen me online, there's one thing I say a lot, and I say 50% of the story of this band is the fan story. And so I'm here to collect as many as I can. Of course, today is no exception. I have a guest on the show to tell us all about his journey with this band that we love so much, Dave Matthews Band. So I'm going to let him introduce himself today. Tell us who you are, where in the world are you, and tell us something cool about you.
My name's Michael Jures. I am from the greater Chicagoland area, currently Joliet. And if there's actually one music I love almost as much as Dave Matthews Band music, it would be Star Wars music.
Well, thank you so much for being willing to come on this show. Listening to everyone's journey has been such a big deal for me. I love hearing them. And just so if you're listening to this and you're like, I bet she's already heard his story. I bet she pre-interviewed or she pre-interviews all of her people. Guess what? No, I don't. I've never heard Michael's story before. So as you're hearing it, I will be hearing it for the first time. I love the surprise of that. Michael, are you ready to talk some Dave Matthews Band?
I am always ready.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so take us back whenever it was. How in the world did you even hear about Dave Matthews Band?
So growing up, I was pretty much stuck listening to oldies if I was with my dad and country music if I was with my mom, which is fine. And it really wasn't until, you start becoming a teenager where you start trying to listen to other music. And I can actually pinpoint the first time I heard Dave Matthews Band and went,
wow,
what is this? We were in Wisconsin Dells, family vacation, and I hear a song. I'm just at a water park and I hear this song, and it just gets me. And I'm just soaking in this song. And I have no idea who sings it. I don't know the name of the song. I don't think anything more of it. And then an hour or two later, I hear that same song again. And I'm like, what is this song? Like, now I need to find out who this band is, because no song had ever hit me like that. And it took me probably 2 or 3 days of hearing this song every couple hours where I finally heard it on the radio. And they're like, that was the newest single, So Much to Say by Dave Matthews Band. And it just, it hit me. Something that a lot of music does to me, but especially Dave Matthews Band, goosebumps. I have goosebumps right now talking about Dave Matthews Band, because every time I heard that song, I had to stop what I was doing and just listen to it. Yeah. If I was swimming in a water, I would just stop. I couldn't eat or drink while I was listening to that song, because I just had to soak everything in.
Yeah.
From the beginning to the end of that song, just everything. Okay, that is
great
forever
first
a top
song
10
to hear.
Song. Yeah,
yes, what a great first
top
one.
10 song for me. It hits, every time it starts. I know. Right. Whether it's followed by other songs or not, it's just that one is just
right. No, I get it. So when you hear it now, does it take you back to like the water park sometimes?
Every time I hear that song, it takes me back to and reminds me what I love about this band, from the instrumental part of it, the bridge, Leroy's sax at like 45 seconds in. Every time it gets me. Yeah. I'm never going to get tired of that song.
So
I'll probably have to listen to it after we're done here.
How old were you approximately then?
So that was 96. So I was 14 going on 15.
14. So what does a 14-year-old, and of course, you know, music in general was just such a different thing back then, just how you got it, how you had access to it, listening to the radio. There was no internet for us. What does a 14-year-old do with that information? Like, okay, now I know who it is. I like that song. What do you do with that information? Do you go out and try to find it? Like, what was your next move?
My next move was to get 6 CDs for $1 from
Heck yeah.
Clearinghouse or Westinghouse or whatever that place is called, and I got
Yes.
Remember Two Things, Under the Table and Dreaming, and Crash,
Ooh.
and I wore those out.
Did you get tape or oh, it was CDs. It was CDs, right? Because
CDs. Oh,
that's right.
yeah, CDs. And it was really funny because I would listen to all of Under the Table and Dreaming. I would listen to all of it wasn't Remember Two Things, it was the recently,
Okay.
the the short one. And then it was funny because when I would listen to Crash, I would listen until the beginning of Drive In, Drive Out, and then I would usually just skip the rest of the CD. I don't know why. And now, like thinking about that, I'm like, I just never
What were you doing?
like the intro to Drive In, Drive Out, and that's another song I love, and I was just like, all right, I'm done. And now my brain can't fathom why I did that for probably a year or 2
I
until
guess
I
you just
probably
weren't
left the
ready.
CD on accident and was like,
Oh,
"This is
yeah.
pretty good. This is pretty good.
Right.
This is pretty good.
Right.
This one's really slow, but it's really good."
I believe
All
that
that kind of
his songs like hit us in different phases of our lives for a reason, right? Like we weren't ready or, you know, we weren't ready. And then when you did hear them, you were like, oh, yeah, okay. Sometimes it just takes a minute with music, you know, you have to sit with it. But I'm glad that you did play the rest of that CD.
Before These Crowded Streets was probably the first CD I ever paid full price for the day of it came out
Holy moly.
because, what is that, 1998?
Yeah.
Those years of high school though, they were hard as far as a fan because I didn't know a single person in high school that liked Dave Matthews Band.
Really?
So for until 2000, I was alone in this journey. Like I didn't know there was such a thing as a Dave Matthews Band concert that you could go to. Like it
Sure.
never would have dawned on me because who am I going to go with?
Right, right, right.
So I just wore those CDs out. I wore out the Live at Red Rocks. I got Dave and Tim, Luther College. I got those. That was 75% of my listening. But if I was out with friends,
You didn't listen to it because they didn't
we
know.
weren't
Or
we weren't
did
listening
you?
to Dave Matthews.
You weren't.
I would
Did
try
you
to,
ever try to
I
push it
like
on them? Yeah.
yeah, and they were, but it would just, the main friends I had, the ones I had in high school, they wanted nothing to do with Dave Matthews Band. That was, and
I
then
mean,
the
I
friends I
wasn't
grew
that
up
cool
with,
in high school.
yeah, the friends I grew up with, we listened to a lot of rap music, which I
Hell yeah,
still
it was
love,
the 90s. Yeah.
you know, or as far as I can tell, a band that is as different as Dave Matthews Band could be, but I would listen to a lot of ICP. I don't know if you know what
Insane
ICP
Clown
is.
Posse.
Insane Clown Posse, yes. Because I finally got to go and realize that other people liked Dave Matthews Band when I started to go into community college. And I met an awesome friend. I haven't seen him forever. I miss him. TJ, I'm talking about Dave Matthews Band. And he's like, "Do you have the Lily White sessions?" I'm like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And he hands me, this CD with 12 glorious songs on it. And my mind, I'm like blown,
Yes.
blown. Okay, the captain on there, Raven. The fact that Monkey Man has never been played is criminal. That's one of my favorite songs. And as much as I love the busted stuff version of Bartender, the Lily White session of Bartender is just bone chilling, goosebump inducing. Just it's so hauntingly good.
Oh, yeah.
So I finally had an extra outlet. I had somebody to talk to aside from just sitting at home listening to it and then having nobody. I had a friend. And I'm like, I need, yes. And then he's like, "Do you know what a BNP is?" I'm like, "I don't know what a BNP is." And he's like, "Here's a live show. Here's a live show. Here's a live show." So now I'm listening to, I listened to a lot of shows from 1999 and 2000, and I'm like, now I need to see them live. And I want to say my dad got me a pair of tickets for a Soldier Field show in 2001. And if you're going to pick a first show to go to, I would like to believe that night 2 of 2001, the infamous Pig Show, is a great place to start. My tickets They weren't great. I could not see the stage. We were so far off to the side. I could see the screen. The only time we could see anybody is if Dave or Boyd came out far enough to like the edge of the stage. So
Right.
those are the only two people I saw all night aside from on a screen. The minute that Gray Street hit, I listened to that is the greatest version of Gray Street ever. I will not hear anybody else say this version from Spock or this version. No, this is the greatest version, at least especially for
For
me,
yes, right.
because it's like 7 minutes long. It's crazy. The lyrics are, again, they hit you. Then I get so much to say. Anyone seen? I get so much to say right away too. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Like,
Like that
Gray
was
Street was amazing.
perfect.
Yeah, so much to say. Anyone seen The Bridge? And then now when I look back at that show, and you look at, like, I don't know a lot of people that got Mother Father.
Oh my God. Don't we all wish we could?
Right? I got one of like the 5 or 6 Mother Fathers.
Oh my gosh. You are lucky.
I got
So
a I
damn
got a
lucky.
Sleep to
This is
Dreamer.
your first
A lot
show.
of people had my first show, and I only told you my first show, I think I skipped, like, I didn't get If I Had It All. I didn't get I Did It. Like, I didn't get the ones they were playing every night, but you know, I got a very long Angel with Buddy Guy, which was
You got Angel
interesting.
and Mother Father.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I got a very unique version of Satellite because one of the openers, Angelique Kidjo, I think was her name. So she sung
Uh-huh.
part of it in some African language. And I'm just like, what is going on here?
I'm making
I
notes. I don't know if
recommend,
you can see that,
have
but
you,
I'm like, okay,
you have
homework
to,
assignment, Folsom Field,
yeah.
night 2.
No, not Folsom Field, Soldier Field.
Soldier Field. Gotcha. And 7,
Like,
2
if you go
falls
on
on there.
antsmarching.org, I think it even calls it the infamous Pig Show because he teased Pig, like, I feel like 10 times during the show. He didn't play it, but I mean,
He teased it.
he got
They're
that.
still doing
So,
that, these guys. What is it up with teasing? I mean, they know that we want it. And they're like, we're
oh,
going
I
to give
know.
it to you,
They know
but
what
for
they're
like
doing.
3 seconds. They're so
Yeah.
smart. They're like marketing geniuses, you know?
And even he mentioned Chicago a lot because the Taste of Chicago. I don't know if you've heard of the Taste of Chicago, but it's like a food festival. So that
Sounds
was going
amazing.
on. So me and my friend, we did that beforehand. So a couple times during the show, he mentions, I went and had a beer at the Taste of Chicago, and I had a hot dog at the Taste of Chicago. And just,
Chicago.
yes. And Soldier Field is a big place, especially when they have people on the field. So it was, I have no idea, 70,000 people, 60,000. I really have
Oh
no
my
idea. It just,
gosh. A lot.
I left there and I was like, when can I go to another show? I
Right.
have to go to another show.
It's addicting from the first one.
Especially because by this point, I already knew, like, if I had gone the night before, I would have heard totally different songs.
True. But did
Which,
you know that at the
you know,
time?
I knew that when I went to that show. I'm like,
Okay.
what did they play yesterday? Is that what they're gonna play today? And my friend's like, no, they might play 4 or 5 songs from yesterday because they're the new the new album
Sure.
songs. But
Sure.
he's like, if they played, an old song yesterday, you're not gonna hear it today. Like
Right.
there's like a 0.1% chance
Right.
because
We
I've
never
not
know.
been very many. I've correct because I've been to at least one show where they played a song from the night before, and that was ridiculous. So
How
because that
dare
was a
they?
well, it was no, it was a good way because it was Alpine, maybe 2012, 13, something like that, where they played Halloween both nights.
Dang.
Are you gonna complain about
That's
getting Halloween both nights in a
amazing.
row? Yeah,
Wow.
because you're like, what is like the first like minute of it? Like, are they gonna fake this into something? What is going on here?
Right.
And then they just play the whole song.
Wow. I haven't heard about this. Halloween 2 nights in a row at the same venue or different venues?
Same venue,
Oh
both
my
nights Alpine.
God.
Yeah,
Now, this is Alpine when? Again, I'm taking notes.
I want to say 2013. Don't quote me, but I want to
Nope.
say around 2013. Give or take.
Gotcha. Halloween times 2. Wow.
Oh yeah.
This is a learning podcast. I don't know if you guys are
Oh
you
yeah.
guys are probably not taking notes while you're listening to this podcast, but I am because again, I'm receiving this information at the same time. And I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know that because there's so many shows that are recorded. Yes, there's the ones that have been like released officially, but then we do have access to so much more based on people that and sent it out to the masses. And so have I heard every show? Of course not. So even if I have heard these, I don't remember that. So I want to go back and relive it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been to 94 DMB shows now, and
Holy
a
moly.
lot of them, I hate to say it, they blur together. Where I'm like,
They
oh,
do.
I remember hearing the song, but I'll be darned if I could remember what year that was. Like I might be able to remember the venue, but
Right. No, it does get blurry. I mean, that's quite a bit of shows. That's
yes.
quite a lot.
And I tell people that all the time. They're like, and then I'll be like, dude, I've met people who've been to like 300. I've met people
Yes.
that have been to 40 shows in a tour. Like
Right.
I'm middle of the road compared to some people.
It's true what Dave has said many times on stage or on XM. I've got 35,000 fans and they all come to every show. It's it's common in this community of fans to just how many can I fit in, and I understand that train of thought because I literally will not plan my own family's vacation until Dave Matthews Band has released their tour dates. Cause I'm like, no, we've got to like fit this in.
I've missed a few weddings for concerts. That's for sure.
Do they know you
I've
missed it
cashed in
for a
some
show?
favors. Yes, yes. One they
Okay.
definitely knew, and the other one I was going to miss the show. I was going to miss it, and then the day before, the bride found out, and she's like,
Just
"Tell
go.
Michael he can go to his concert. Don't make him come all the way." Because I was at Deer Creek night one, and I
Oh,
was just going to
yeah.
miss Deer Creek night two, and she's like, "Just tell him to stay." So then I had to find a ticket because I came with a group of friends and I made sure they all had tickets, but I'm like, well, now we
Right.
got to find a ticket for me.
Easy
So,
peasy, right? Tickets are always there. They're always there. They can say shows are sold out, but people sell their tickets. There's always something last minute that comes up with people. Life happens. People get sick. People blah blah blah, and there's always tickets. And so that's kind of a beautiful thing that if you didn't know, now you know, right? Like again, this is a
right.
learning
Yeah.
podcast. You're going to learn some inside deets on how people do it, and you've been to 94 shows. I would say you know how to do it.
But I think it's, well, there's been other times where I've had to buy a ticket the day of, but that's just because
Yes.
those are impromptu plans or
Right.
couldn't buy tickets. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
And you
You're in for a
fit it
ride
in.
here, Renee. You're in here for a ride. So,
So you
after
went
two,
to the first show and you were like, I got to get to my
yes.
second. So how long was the time between the shows?
So I didn't get to another show in 2001 because as a 20-year-old, it's hard to plan ahead. So,
Yeah.
but 2002, I was like, all right, I know the tour dates. We're going to shows. Who's going to shows? What are we doing here? And the goal was me and a group of friends were going to go to one show, and then me and another friend we were going to go to both nights of Chicago indoor tour. And this is so old fashioned. We went to like a service merchandise or a JC Penney to buy tickets.
Yes.
And there's a line to buy tickets. The Chicago shows sold out before we could buy tickets. So I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Right there, we're like, all right, well, let's figure this out. Where else are they going to be? So me and my friend, we get a pair of tickets for Gund Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. We're like, we're just gonna
Yes.
drive to Cleveland, Ohio. We'll drive there and we'll drive back.
Yep.
And then for the group of us, we were going to go to Ames, Iowa, for a show at the Hilton Coliseum Arena, and that was with my girlfriend and two of my friends. So instead of doing just two shows in Chicago, I got two adventures, and I think this was like another like fate thing, being like, listen, you are not just going to go to shows in Chicago,
You can't wait that long for them to come back.
right? So you know, driving to Cleveland with my friend TJ. That was like we drove there, walked around Cleveland for an hour. Concert after the concert, drove home.
Wow.
I've done that a lot since since then. At least when we went to Iowa City, we had four tickets that weren't together, so we weren't even really together.
Yeah.
My one friend, he brought recording equipment that's not encouraged to use because it was the back in the day, we knew somebody at work who had the inner ear monitor
Oh,
recording equipment.
yes. Yes.
So he's like sitting there and he'd be like Tripping Billies, and then Tripping Billies would play because he would hear the
They
band speak.
spoiled it though. I feel like
Well,
he spoiled it.
he was really good at knowing what song they
I
were gonna
guess so.
play based on like instruments and stuff. So
Wow, he
everybody
nailed it.
he's like he's like everyone around me thought I was like really good at guessing the songs because of like what instruments there were out there, and I was just hearing what they were saying. And he's like, man, Dave is like talks a lot, and so does Carter. Carter talks a lot,
Oh, I
and
would
then I
love to hear
never
what
got
they
to listen,
say.
and I never got to listen to it
Oh,
because we gave it back to our friend, and then he never gave it to us. I lost it. Like, you jerk. So we never got to hear the I mean, I've heard the show since then, but from a
yeah.
regular traditional
Right.
recording. So
Wow. I didn't
we
even
did
know that
those
there was
two.
equipment where you could kind of hack into their inner ear.
I guess
Is
that was
that
like the
still
last
possible?
year.
I'm not going to do
It's
it. I
not,
don't.
as far as I know, it is not very possible anymore.
Okay. I mean,
I don't
technology's
know.
improved
I'm
since
not tech
2000.
savvy at all.
No, me either.
So then 2002 was a year that had a spring tour and a summer tour. So summer tour, I don't recall there really being a Chicago show. So I was going to do both nights of Alpine Valley because it's close. I've heard great things. I was super pumped. So again, I was going to do the first night with one friend, and then two other friends were going to join us for the second night. And fate steps in again. And this is probably the most drastic trajectory change of my fandom. Okay. Because I feel that if I had gone to both of these shows, Alpine Valley, I would consider my home venue. But because of something, I now consider a different venue my home venue. Okay. So
Yes.
I had to go to a wedding and not miss a wedding. So I could not
Yeah.
go to night one of Alpine. And I was like, well, I still want to go to another show. So a few weeks beforehand, I called my friend Sean. I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, I think it was a Sunday. And I'm like, do you want to go to Indiana? There's a show in Noblesville, which is like
Hmm.
north of Indianapolis, like whatever. And he worked, we had no tickets. So he worked the night before. So he worked overnight. He gets to my house at like 8 in the morning and we start driving down there. So he sleeps the whole way there, snoring or whatever. I get lost because if you've ever been to Indianapolis, and that's why the first time I'd ever driven Indianapolis, 465 goes around Indianapolis. So I went all the way around Indianapolis
No.
instead of just going above Indianapolis. He sleeps the whole time. We park probably 2 o'clock and we have no tickets. So we are now on a like a 6 hour clock to find tickets.
Right.
And we're wandering around. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Like it was taking forever. It probably not till like 5 or 6 o'clock we found one ticket. And he's like, buy it. Let's find another one. He's
Hmm.
like, my friend, God bless him. He's like, if we end up only having one, I will just go back and sleep in my, or I'll stand outside the venue and listen.
Right. You could still
He's
hear.
like, you're going to this show. And it probably wasn't until like 8 o'clock till we found another ticket.
Wow.
Like we were moments away from giving up. And he's if we finally get another ticket, we use the bathroom, we walk in, we stand right on the lawn. 10 seconds later,
Oh, ooh, the stone.
stone, boom, another just one of my favorites, and I had a ton of fun at that venue.
Deer Creek is fun.
Later on, Alpine was a blast as well.
Hmm.
I two step was a great one sweet world that day. It was I have not been disappointed by a show yet.
No.
So that Christmas, I'm at my aunt's and I'm talking about Dave Matthews Band with my uncle who lives in my uncle Larry, my aunt Lou. They live in Hartford City, Indiana. And I was telling him how I went to the show in Indiana, and he's like, "Oh, Deer Creek." He's like, we only live like an hour from there. If you wanted to go there again, you could come and visit us, or you could stay by us.
Awesome.
I'm like, well, I might have friends. Oh, your friends can come. I'm like, are you serious? And they were over the moon for it.
Oh,
So 2003, me and three friends go to my aunt and uncle's for like 5 days, and we go to the concerts in between. And so now, you know, that has become what is. It's not what it used to be, but I still go and stay by their house virtually every year and go see Dave Matthews Band at Jerk.
how cool. It's like a tradition now.
Yeah. And I brought, I brought three friends, and then I brought two friends, and then I brought four friends a couple times. Now it's just me and my brother because we've, people move and grow and
Right. Sure.
all that kind of stuff. And now it's where we'll spend like one night there, but it's just
Hmm.
there was a good 10, 15 years where it was, my friends are texting me in February, January, February. Do you have dates yet? When we visit your aunt and uncle?
Right.
They almost look forward more to visiting them than they did to the concerts. And it's not like we just went there and they like stayed off to the side. It was like we visited with them, talked to them,
Right.
had a great time. And man, my Uncle Larry could cook. We'd have that 2 o'clock meal before we leave to go tailgate, and I
Wow.
would not need to eat anything until after the concert.
Right.
Because oh yeah, oh yeah. And it
That's
was
amazing.
whenever I'd get home from those, I would always be so tired because
Hmm.
as the de facto leader, because I'm the organizer, I know everybody. Even though I'm bringing my brother, I'm still the one who coordinates, so it's my aunt and uncle. So like
Right.
I'm always the first one. I'm always the first one up. I'm always telling everybody what to do. I'm always, making sure we got ice and I'm
Yeah.
making sure
Yeah.
we're leaving at a good time.
Right.
I'm the member of the warehouse fan club, so I make sure we're getting tickets and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So I consider Deer Creek my home venue because I've seen 40 shows there. It's
Wow.
because it essentially became where every year I would do Deer Creek and I would do one night of Alpine because my wife, Melissa, two shows. She's not going to do two shows. And she's done two shows a couple of times, but she'd rather just do one show. So I would just do one show at Alpine, two at Deer Creek, and then I would try and find somewhere else to go because I've now seen them in 15 different states. Like it was a big
Whoa.
thing. Like, all right, what state am I in this year? What state am I in this year? Because I added the state like right away because I went to the Central Park show.
Oh my gosh.
My car died on the way there, so it was like, even though it was a free ticket, it was expensive. My friend Matt, he's getting out of. We're stopped at like a rest stop, and he gets in the car, and I'm sleeping. He's like, hey, Mike, yeah, car won't start. I'm like, what? So
Oh
we had to
my
get
gosh.
towed and thankfully not ripped off. I paid a
Yeah,
reasonable price to get my car fixed, get to Central Park. I don't know if anyone else had the same experience, but Central Park, getting into that show was a disaster.
I
It probably took
bet.
2 hours. 2 hours to get inside, and you feel like
Yes.
cattle or penguins.
Seeing the videos,
Like
it looks like y'all were.
they check they checked for your tickets twice.
Dang.
And it got so bad, I got separated from my friend. So I watched the whole concert by myself. He watched the whole concert by himself. It is what it is.
You had a good time
We
though
had to
still?
listen. Yeah, I had to listen to the first 4 or 5 songs well in line. Like it wasn't until like 7 songs in where you could see the band because the line was just a disaster. Kid.
I bet. I can't
And
imagine.
then right after the show, drove home.
Wow. Wow. The things we could
Yeah,
do when we were young, right?
I did that two. I've done that 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, I
Oh
still
my
do. I
god,
still do that.
that's amazing. How far was the drive for you?
Me and my friend, we've been to Ohio a few times now, and this last time he's like, "Let's get a hotel," and I'm like, "Yeah." Like we did,
Yeah.
was it the Dayton or Columbus show? But we did Blossom, and we just drove there and drove back. You
Yeah.
know, we did Columbus, drove there and drove back. It wasn't until
Yeah.
this last one, I think, in Dayton, where we're like, "Let's
Yeah. If you can get a
we're
hotel, I
down."
mean, and that's just an extra cost, and I get that, but there's so much now, and I don't know really kind of when all of this started. I know that the community of fans has always done like tailgating and stuff, but now there's so many fan driven events that happen before shows, after shows, the day before the show. Like there's so many opportunities to do so much more within Dave Matthews Band community than I think there was in the past. And so now, like, it's almost like a given, like, okay, well, if I'm going that far away, I'm getting a hotel because I want to spend time with the people that I love, right? And I only get to see them at Dave shows.
I mean, I've probably driven to and driven back to a show 20 times,
Wow.
if not more.
What was the max time on those 20 trips that you drove back after the show? Like, what was the longest trip back home?
Probably the Central Park one.
Okay. How many
Because
hours
at
did that
least all
take?
the other ones that we've driven, 14 hours, 13
Did y'all
hours? I don't
stop
know.
and like sleep in the car, or you just
There's 2
did
of
it?
us. One sleeps in the car while the other drives. We're
Oh
good.
yeah. Yeah.
So, because we drove to Atlanta. We saw the Piedmont Park show, but we did a hotel.
It's an amazing show.
I'll tell you what's
Amazing
really
show.
amazing. So, who would have thought that my wife, Melissa, who shares a birthday with Mr. Leroy Moore. So they sang happy birthday, and because it was right at her birthday. And then what song do we hear from the Allman Brothers Band? Melissa.
I mean, I'm
As
sure she
corny as
loved
it
that.
is, I was just like,
Oh
I
my
thought I
gosh.
thought it was the greatest thing in the world.
Yes, it was perfect.
I've driven to Texas twice,
Yeah.
but I've actually managed to see them a bunch of times in Texas.
Yeah.
The first time, my sister, she wanted to go to all 30 ballparks for Major League Baseball in like a
Oh
5-year
yeah.
span.
Huh?
And I'm like, well, if you go to Houston, can we try and go so I can also see Dave Matthews Band?
Yes.
So we saw Dave Matthews Band, baseball game, baseball game. So I got to see him at the Woodlands, and then a few years later, me and my friends, we did a road trip and we went to the Woodlands and Dallas. for Dave
Uh-huh.
Matthews Band. And then the last two family vacations that we have taken have been conveniently scheduled to where me and my wife can go to a Dave Matthews Band.
I mean, you just have to.
So
Just if you can.
we took my mother-in-law to Houston, and so we had date night the
Mhm.
first night we were there, so we could go to Dave Matthews Band.
Yes.
And then this past year, we went to St. Louis and
I was
conveniently went
there.
to Dave Matthews Band. You know, we
Yeah,
even met
I
up
was
with
there.
my good friend Tony that I've done a lot of travels with my friend Tony. A lot of the Ohio shows. Another great memory of a show is a Dave and Tim show. I've only done a few of those. I did Elliott Hall in Purdue, and then the next night they were playing Carthage College in Wisconsin. I did not have tickets. My friend
Mhm.
Tony did not have tickets. So we drove up there, and there we are wandering this college campus looking for tickets. And it was, I would say it's not easy. It was not easy. And fate smiles on me again because we find a person who has one ticket. And we look at each other, we're like, one of us is going to this show.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
We're not buying the ticket. And we're like, I'm fine. So we flip a coin. We flip a coin. Whoever wins, they get to go to the show. The other person can continue to wander around, try and find a ticket, or they just take a nap in the car. I lose the coin flip. I'm devastated, but I'm happy. My friend Tony, he still gets to go into the show. So off he goes. I'm now at the point where I am just chilling at the box office, waiting to see if they release any tickets. Two people, this couple, they cut in front of me and got tickets. And I was like, oh, because I'm not paying attention. I'm talking with people, and I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
cut me up. And maybe 5 minutes later, it's probably two or three songs into the show. They release two more tickets. Me and this other guy that I've been talking to, we get tickets. We're high fiving each other. Like I don't even. I'm like, give me the ticket. I go in. It's in a gymnasium. It's flat ground. I show the usher my ticket because I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. He wanders off and directs me front row center.
What?
I am like 8 feet from Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds. I'm looking at the guy next to me who came in there, and he's like, we're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
You were
best
not
coin flip
expecting
I
that.
ever lost. And it's
Exactly.
funny because when I got home that night, the sticker for the seat was still stuck to my butt. So I got an extra souvenir. I'm like, well, this is where I was sitting.
Yes.
And
Could your buddy even believe that?
my poor friend Tony, he's like, I couldn't hear Dave talking. I was like second to last row. And I'm like, part of me was like, I'm happy. But then I'm like, oh man, like if only we had just waited and we bought those tickets together. But, you know,
Yeah.
that's just how it is.
You had to do it.
So,
It was right at the moment.
yes. And like Tony is a perfect example of one of many people that I am friends with because of Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know anybody else enjoyed this music. And then I'll name drop in the
Please do.
antsmarching.org forums. I spent so much time on the Deer Creek page. I have developed so many friendships. Okay. One of them was a guest on your show, which is why I was like, I need to do this show too. My friend Brandon Peters, you know,
Yes.
like I
He's
met
an
him
amazing
tailgating
podcast.
at Deer Creek. Oh, he is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. After you're done liking and subscribing this episode, go find the Brandon Peters show and watch his
Yes.
stuff because it's good
Yes.
stuff.
Yes. Thanks for the plug there.
My friend Sean, a different Sean, Sean the Kid. That's our name for him. I met him night 3 at the Caravan, like in the crowd. He's like, I'll be wearing a Cubs number 41. Come find me. And so we hung out all day. So we still talk all the time. We, we run into each other at shows all the time. We talk excessively. But I mean, I met him at a Caravan show.
Yeah.
Like we became best friends at a Caravan show. Uh,
Yep.
another guy, Kevin, talked with him all the time online, texting him. When do I meet him? Charlottesville 2010.
Wow.
Like in between the opening act and DMB coming out, we meet up and talk for like 5-10 minutes.
Wow.
He lives in Indiana, I live in Illinois, but we're gonna run into each other and meet
Yes,
in
you should.
Charlottesville, Virginia.
Did you know
So
each other were going, or did it just kind of
no,
happen?
we knew like I
Okay.
was texting him because I went to both nights of Charlottesville and he was only going to night 2, so I'm texting him during night 1 because he's like, oh, I hope they don't play this, and
Right.
and the goal was to meet up with other people, but he was the only person I managed to meet up with. Possibly the silliest person on how we met was I have a friend, Mike, and we're talking on the boards and everything like that. And one time after Alpine Valley, my wife gets home from work and she's like, this lady at work was talking about how her husband went to Dave Matthews Band over the weekend. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And she's like, yeah, and his name is Michael too. And I'm like, that's cool. It's like, yeah, and he works for Walgreens too, because I worked for Walgreens at the time. And she's like, and he's a manager too. And I'm like, so this guy likes Dave Matthews Band. His name is Michael. He works at Walgreens, same position, and his wife also works at Target. My wife jokingly is like, "You're not living a double life, are you?"
Right.
Like,
It sounds like you.
so I'm like, she's like, does he wear flannel? Because I wear flannels a large majority of the time. And she's like,
Uh-huh.
no, he don't wear flannels. And then my wife
Okay.
was like, okay,
Yeah.
all right, we're good to go. And maybe 6 months later, I'm on the message boards and this guy's talking. And I'm like, I think this is that guy. So I DM him and I'm like, does your wife work for Target? And he's responding like, how the hell do you know that?
Right. Yeah.
And then I explain the situation and we meet up at the parking lot of Deer Creek like later that summer. And it was just, now we talk to him all the time.
That's
And,
wild.
I have
All of the
a couple group
similarities there.
chats. Oh yeah. No, it was
I thought you were literally
fun.
going to tell me
And
that it was you, but like a different.
no.
It was so crazy. Like I was like,
Not,
"Who? How
that
is
would
this
not be on a
working?"
public broadcasted podcast.
Hey, man, it would make it a lot of fun.
Yeah. I went to Red Rocks, also short of a ticket. So I
2005
went with my wife.
or
2005.
what?
We went to night
Yeah.
3.
Oh,
We only went
God
to night 3.
bless. I talk about that show so much.
So what made that even more great was the adventure, because it was me, my
Sure.
wife, her cousin, and my best friend, and they're married now. That was essentially their first date.
Cool.
At their wedding rehearsal, I wore, although I shouldn't have worn it because it don't fit no more, my Red Rocks T-shirt underneath my clothes for their wedding rehearsal.
That's cool though.
The
That's so
show was
cool.
the show was great.
Yes.
That venue is, if you go
Oh,
to Red
yes.
Rocks, don't be close to the stage. You want to be far enough from the stage so that you can see downtown Denver on the other side of the stage all lit
Oh,
up.
wow. Wow.
So, and this is just a silly thing. We went to the Rockies game
Uh-huh.
beforehand. We met the most eccentric beer vendor ever. Okay, this is 2005. He has a pager or a cell phone
Yeah.
and a business card.
Important.
And he's like, if you need a beer, call me. And then we find out that he's working the show at Red Rocks.
No
And he's like, if
way.
you need a beer at Red Rocks, call me. So my friend paged him or called him during the concert to bring him a beer.
So cool. You had the hookup.
And again, and me and my friend Matt, we had to walk like 2-3 hours. Well, the girls drank their WAP because we needed a fourth ticket because we only had 3
Right.
tickets.
Right.
Because the tickets were hard to get. And again, it was maybe a half hour before the show where we finally got a ticket. And walking the parking lots of Red Rocks is not fun because it's not one parking lot.
No.
It's
It
like,
is.
here's a parking lot that fits 20 cars. Here's a parking lot that fits 40 cars. Like it was, and then
Yes.
you're at altitude. That ride home was rough. The next morning, because we got there like overnight, we barely slept at the hotel
Yeah.
and
How
went
long does
home.
it take? Like, now they don't play Red Rocks anymore. And I've heard for various reasons, one of them being they're just too big and there's so many fans, right?
Yeah.
But how long did it take you guys to get out of the parking lot?
I don't remember because I know we took our time after the show.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I am not oh, the encore is starting, let's get out of here guy.
Never.
I'm pot committed to just, especially because when we go to Deer Creek, that's just more tailgating time.
Yes,
Like we will go
exactly.
back to our car, we'll get our seats back out. My friend Brandon, like I tailgate with him usually one day, and after the show I'll go find him again. Or my friend Tony, he brings his wife Chris. Like they're leave during the encore kind of people, but before the show,
Yeah.
you know. I have a
Yeah.
friend Cheryl that I only met because of Dave Matthews. This lady who's just the most extroverted person in the world. Our tailgate, we're just chilling right next to her, and she's like, "Why don't you guys hang out with all of us?
Yeah.
Why are you four just
That's
being
how
bunched
it
in there?
is.
Come on, we're having a party." Because then it was 2 or 3 years where it's like, "All right, where's Cheryl's
Right.
tailgate? Let's go."
It's fun just to walk through the parking lot sometimes and see all the little groups and most of the groups are so welcoming, like, hey, come on by. Let's have some food or whatever, it's great.
The year of the double Halloween, I went up to Alpine. I drove up there by myself because I
Wow.
had to work.
Yeah.
So I worked, went to Alpine, came home, worked, went to Alpine. So the first day I was dumb and I forgot to bring a change of clothes. So I'm at the concert in like my work clothes, which is like black slacks and a dress shirt, and I'm just sweating,
Oh, I
dying.
bet. But you looked
And
you looked fancy.
I brought a cooler with a strap, and I just wandered around and just met up with people.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can. Once and that sounds strange probably to a lot of people that are listening to this. Like, well, they just walk around and talk to strangers? Yes. It is that easy in this community. And that's one of the things that makes this community stand out is how mostly extroverted everyone is. And even the people that are very introverted, somehow this community can bring that out of them. And they just feel welcomed and safe and included, which is something that I love about this community for the most part. Now, it's not 100%, but for the most part, I feel like we're such an inclusive group of fans. We're not going to let somebody just stand over there by themselves and, look through their phone or whatever. We're going to try to get them in and say, hey, man, like, we're glad you're here. Like, we're the salesman, for Dave Matthews Band. Like, we're glad you're here. Come on over, be part of
Yeah.
our group. We'd love to jam with you.
The more people I know, the more I can live vicariously through others.
That's
Because with
true.
all my friends now, if I'm not going to a show, but I know they're going to a show, I'm hoping for the greatest show ever. Because I know
Right.
if I'm at a show, they're going to be texting me, they're going to be asking me, "Oh, how's the breeze?" Because that's one of my things. I always talk about, if there's a good breeze, you're going to have a good show kind of thing.
Mm, it's
And
true.
like song chasing, not just for yourself, but for your friends.
Right. Because if a
I
certain
know
song
my
comes
friend
on and
Brandon, he talked all yeah,
go ahead.
my friend Brandon, he talked all about Spoon with Brandy Carlisle, like doing a Twitter campaign, bothering Brandy on Twitter for a few months, like, hey, you should play Spoon with Dave Matthews Band. Hey, when you're in Indiana, why don't you play Spoon with Dave Matthews Band? Hey, have you heard of this song Spoon by Dave Matthews Band? And then for her to come out and just, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I got goosebumps then. I'm thinking of all my friends, like my friend Kevin and Brandon and Bobby and Sean and all the others that helped, tweet that. And I was like, if she plays Spoon, I'm going to be able to tell where Brandon is because I'm going to see somebody jumping up in the air.
Yeah.
And it was just, when that song is over, it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. When I got my first minarets, because it took a long time to get my first minarets.
Wow.
So the first like real song I was chasing, Now
Uh-huh.
I'm at the point that they're the only songs I haven't heard are Dave's solo songs or songs I haven't played in 20 years. But
Yeah.
my first
Me too.
minarets, like my phone exploded. Like the minute minarets started playing, it was Northerly Island. It was like the day after the 4th of July. It was part of the two sets thing. They come out. Everyone's like, they didn't play last night. They're going to play it tonight. And they played it. And like, I probably had 30 messages because people are just, now, that being said, like a good half hour, 45 minutes later, I got another 30 text messages, but they were all of the jokingly mean kind because there is a song that I love that a lot of people can't stand.
Ooh,
But
tell
I
me
just
more.
can't stop loving, can't stop.
I love
I
it.
have always loved that song when it was slow and
Love
jammy, and now when it's a
you.
little bit quicker,
Yes. How can
when
you
I'm
not
on the
love
lawn
that?
and I'm like, people will look at me like I'm insane because I'm jamming this song because the tears of my enemies fuel me. I got all this song. I hope you're happy because this song sucks. Time to go to the bathroom, and I'm just like,
That song
feed the
has
beast
such
inside of me.
swagger.
That's fine, man. Like,
My God,
so
I would love for them to be on the show and tell me why they don't like it. Come on.
if you're on
Come on.
AskMarching.org, I'd say 95% of the people on there hate that song.
But it's 95% of just the people that are on there. So there's still a
Yeah,
huge
well, yeah.
population of people that
Some people
fucking
are just
love it.
some people just aren't happy, but
Ever.
or like
Yes. And I get that.
even a year or two ago. So my friend Mike, he had never gotten Spoon. He had been to like over 70 shows. He only missed like one show at Alpine in like 20 years, and it was the one night they played Spoon. I had gotten it 4 or 5 times already, and he on a whim went to the rescheduled show for Alpine 2 years ago. And he's just like, I
Uh-huh.
really hope they play Spoon, please, please. Like when I know I was not, I might have been as happy as he was. Like Spoon started playing and I'm like, yes, yes. And, my friend and my wife are looking like, what is, I'm like, oh, Mike finally got a song.
Yes. Yes.
It's, me and my friend Brandon, like we were searching for busted stuff and like we finally got it to like we got it together.
That's
Like we were
awesome.
just like oh, finally, like we were going to shows just to, like in the hope that like, oh,
Right.
I'm gonna be so mad if they play it tomorrow because I went today, and oh, I
Right.
hope I'm the man. Because there was like I went to the first night of Chicago and he went to the second night of Chicago, so I'm like, well, as long as they play it, one of us will be happy. And then they
Right.
still didn't play it, and it just like avoided the Midwest like a plague, and we're just like,
But I bet secretly you were kind of like, okay, I'm so glad he didn't get it because that was going to be too much for me, right? Like,
I promise you, I did not feel it. I would have
no,
been happy either way. I
it's like
promise
the
you, because
song you're
I
chasing,
yeah.
you're not there.
So that one I can handle. If they had played like some crazy song like "Dreams of Our Fathers" or something, then I'd be like, I wish it was
Oh
there.
yeah. What are
So
you
because
chasing
yeah, I think
now?
I would have to look. I'm only chasing as far as album tunes,
Uh-huh.
like 3 Dave solo songs,
Okay.
like one from each of the last like 3 albums.
Yeah.
But because again, I've got Mother Father, so I got that. I got Let You Down, so I got that. I've gotten like 5 Spoons. Like I've heard Before These Crowded Streets in its entirety like 3 times. Like Spoon is I don't even think Spoon is the least common song I've heard off of that album now.
Wow. You've been
Yeah.
really fortunate, but again, it's taken you
Yes.
quite a bit of time to make all of this happen.
And I've been committed to traveling to Central Park, we went to
Right.
Charlottesville, because where else
Mm-hmm.
am I gonna get, Long Black Veil,
Yeah.
I've gotten an excessive amount of, and it's funny 'cause I've gotten, like, an excessive amount of Last Stops and Dreaming Trees, but then I've only gotten a few Ravens, and I think I only have 2 or 3 Captains, and
So
then
let
there's
me ask
songs.
you about this song. And I think it's highly likely that you have heard this just because of the time frame you were going to shows. So around 2005, 2004, 2005, started trying out some songs on the road, one of them being a song by the name of Crazy Easy. Have you ever heard it live?
I've heard that a bunch of times. They played that at, like, every night in was it 2004,
What?
2005?
I get it. And I want it so bad.
Oh man, I think of those kind of songs, "Kill the King" would be the only
Mm-hmm.
one that I have not gotten. Like, I haven't gotten Straight Shot, but I consider myself very blessed
Yeah.
that I've gotten, I've lost track of how many times I've gotten Halloween. Like, it's not even like, "Oh, I need to hear Halloween." Now it's the point where, like, I wanna hear Drive In, Drive Out.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
wanna hear Rhyme and Reason.
Yes.
I wanna hear Help Myself. I got Help Myself in like 4 out of 5 shows of my first like 8 or 9 shows. I got it like 4 times. I have never heard
Wow.
it since.
You really did come
And
in at a great time. I mean, that's the 2000s. Like I always say, there's 4 decades to this band. There's the 90s, 2000, 2010s, and 2020s. And the 2000s, people will argue that that's like one of the key decades for that band is because they were fucking on fire. They were singing stuff that like was new, some stuff that was old, like it was such a great time to be seeing them live. And I am jealous of everyone that got to be where you were for most of your shows.
again, people look at me like I'm crazy when I tell them I go see them so much, and then when you explain, I've seen them 3 nights in a row, and it's, like, no
Hmm.
repeats. No
Right.
no repeats.
Right.
In fact, I'll go 2 weeks later, and I might only get 4 or 5. Or I'll
Right.
2 nights in a row in different places, and they're only gonna repeat a couple songs.
I think for the most part, people that are not diehards into Dave Matthews Band or people that just know them casually have no idea the size of the catalog that they hold. It is very large. And so they have that ability, whereas most other artists do not have a catalog that large. And so it's unheard of to be able to go to 3 shows, 4 shows. I wonder how many shows they could do straight without repeating, if they sang all of their songs. But like, it's so unheard of that I feel like you do have to kind of explain to people that are like, why would you go to 3 in a row? Well, here's the way they do music a little bit different than everyone else.
And I think their fan base has evolved to appreciate and accept that
Yes.
because and again, some people like if you're gonna go see Taylor Swift, it's an event, but why would
Right.
you go see her 2 days in a row
Right.
if she's going to
She only
play
has one secret
95%?
song. You
I
only get one
guess.
surprise.
But if the pomp and circumstance, if that's what you're used to and love, then
Of
go for it.
course.
Like I
And that's
can
just
I could
such a
totally
totally
see.
different kind of show.
Yes.
That's
And
like a
again, a large
production. It's
majority of
just
bands.
right.
There's bands
Yes.
like my dad saw Paul McCartney and he knew what the set list was going to be ahead of time because they just publish it. And it's just the same set list. And I'm just
Wow.
like,
We are so spoiled as Dave Matthews Band fans. We're so spoiled, but I just love, I relish in it. I'm like, you don't even know what we have. Like, we have such a thing happening. And that's, reason why, one of the reasons why I started this podcast, because I was like, this has to be documented because this has not happened a lot in history. And will it happen again?
It's weird because I say I've been to 94 Dave Matthews Band concerts because that does not count my 2 Dave and Tim shows and my Dave and Friends show and the extra care because I consider it can, like, when it's Dave and Tim, it is a totally different experience.
I don't want to end this episode before we talk about your prop.
Yes, I brought 2 props.
Oh, okay.
So anybody who knows me knows that this is my drink of choice at the tailgate. Mike's Hard Mango Punch.
Mike's Hard.
Like that's
Yep.
sometimes they call me that online. I'm not a beer drinker. I'm not a hard liquor drinker.
Yeah.
I'm a if I could drink sugar, I'll drink sugar.
Yeah, I mean it is better than no sugar.
And then my other prop is based off of watching your podcast with my friend Brandon. If you want to guess what this is. So
a spoon.
You have now, but this is another one. So let's see. I don't remember what number I am.
In the line of shows?
I am number 1810.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. For those of you that are not watching, tell us what you just showed.
I showed you the Dave Matthews Band live at Wrigley Field double play box set.
Wow.
That's limited edition. But
wow. I wonder how much it would cost, and you probably know. How much would it cost to go on any given website and get that now?
That? I don't know. I don't know. Thankfully, I don't have that problem.
Like, you don't have that problem. I'm going to look into that. That's more homework for me.
So
you're making me spend money here, Michael.
I knew this was going to be a hard ticket to get. So I had friends put in for tickets for this weekend. I ended up with 10 tickets for Saturday and 0 tickets for Friday. So I traded Saturday tickets for Friday tickets. And then I sold, not for profit, the other 4 tickets. And then I drank 6 of these in like 2 hours. And I had to work. I worked at a Walgreens downtown. Convenient, and my friend TJ lived 4 blocks from Wrigley. So I worked Friday until like 4 o'clock, did dinner with my friend. We bar hopped to Wrigley. We stayed out after the show until like 4 in the morning. I slept for like 2 hours. I went to work, got out of work.
Dude, you're like the Energizer Bunny.
We made my friend Mike Poske, we made him dance like a chicken at Hooters because it was his birthday.
Why not?
Okay. We then went to my friend TJ's place and we watched the old 1966 Batman for like 2 hours while we drank. And then we bar hopped. I will be honest, I was intoxicated.
Yeah.
And because we started bar hopping. We lost one of my friends during the show. My friend Zach, like he disappeared.
No.
Because he went to go get a beer and then we didn't see him for like 2 hours. And then
it happens.
I got number 41 at my 41st Dave Matthews Band concert.
No way.
During that weekend. And then after the show, do you think we went home and went to sleep?
Probably not.
No. I didn't sleep because we were out. We were like a Domino's at like 5 in the morning. The Domino's was open.
Yeah.
At like 5. That's the only good time for Domino's pizza.
5 in the morning.
Because we went, we went to this bar, we went to this bar, and I met up with my friend Shauna, who I hadn't seen in forever, randomly at the bar because she had been at the show, and then we're bar hopping some more, and then I worked the next morning.
Oh my gosh. Michael, I can't thank you enough for sharing all of these really cool stories. I know that as people listen to this or watch this on YouTube, they're going to love every bit of it because like I said, I have notes. Soldier Field, gotta listen to that. Alpine, maybe 2013, the Halloween ×2, gotta listen to that. So you've given me some things to do today, and hopefully you've given some homework to some of the listeners and or watchers. So thank you so much for sharing all of these fun stories with me.
Thank you for having me.
It's fun to talk Dave, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to talk Dave. So I invite you to come back on this show later because we still have this band and we don't know how long for, but your story continues. And so as it grows, I invite you to come back and share that, because we want to have these stories documented not only for everyone else to enjoy, but for ourselves as well. Like I explained before we were recording, when you're 80, this will always be something that you can get to like relive your youth, because you'll think at this time, like, hey, 40s and 50s, I was so young, but it'll be such a fun gift for you later in the future. And so again, thank you so much for sharing all of
Thank
your
you.
stories. Guys, if you are
It's
listening
fun.
to this on a podcast app, just know, again, you can watch this on the YouTube channel. It's simply under the Space Between Podcasts. And do me a couple of favors while you're there. Like Michael said earlier, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you get an alert every time there's a new episode released. But also, it just helps me. If you follow the show, of course, that helps me be able to pump it out to other people. And the same on podcast apps. No matter where you are listening from, you can leave a review, and that also helps pump it out to other people that may have similar interest in podcasts. So, guys, if you're interested in sharing your DMB fan journey, no matter what it looks like, you don't have to have been to 94 shows. You don't have to have been to any shows to be on this show. You just have to love Dave Matthews Band. And it's so important that we document this time, because, again, how much longer do we have? We're not promised tomorrow with anything. And so document while you can. But guys, in the meantime, peace, love, and Dave Matthews Band.
Burn the day away.